So thank you everybody for jumping on. Um, I'm going to share my screen right away, and I'm going to speak from my heart, and I'm going to share with you guys just I think the easiest way for me sometimes is to do a PowerPoint. So that's what I put here. The title, as you can see, of this webinar is reaching the masses. And what do I mean by that? Um, I hear a whole lot of times in meetings, in live events, in you name it, that Dean, if you would mute yourself, please, that we're not going to leave anyone behind. And yet, when you look at our numbers and you look at the number of people that start and stop, a lot of people get left behind. And the main overall message is that we don't do text, we do phone calls, that type of thing. And so the reality is there's a lot of people that aren't going to pick up the phone and make phone calls. It's that simple. And does that mean that they are going to be completely left behind? For me, no. And so I've spent a pretty good amount of time this week. Josh and I spent pretty good time the other day looking at his downline and going in and saying, hey, this person here in a few days is going to go inactive. Let's get them to pay the $25. Those things take time, but it's really worth it because, one of my main goals is to have a team that has more people that sign up and stay on percentage wise. And I think it's big. I really do. Jesus's passion was that no one was left behind. He'd go after the one. And um, there's so many people that aren't jumping on Zooms, they're not going to events. I'm not going to leave them behind. And so I've been wanting to try and come up with some ways to be able to accommodate that, even the person that isn't comfortable making a phone call, rather than just saying, hey, next, we're going to go on to somebody else, what we can do with that. What can we do with that? And that's what I've been working on. So to me, that's why I call this reaching the masses. This is about reaching the little guy, okay? Reaching the little one, the one that probably no one is going to, think about. Josh and I spent, I don't know how much time on the phone with the guy the other day. He has 5 contacts in his phone, but he's still important. He's a person, and he got his membership renewed, and he also upgraded and did a subscription. And so he's going to keep the patches coming to him. So we don't know. We may save that life right there. And I understand that's maybe not the typical for network marketing, but that's what we're doing. And so the next thing, probably the most important thing you can see right there, that's actually the welcome video screenshot in Spanish. And that leads me to, what that is. That is the For Life Wave app that I developed. And as you know, we've set this up with a $20 monthly payment subscription with a $200 annual and a 300 lifetime. And I've talked to a few that have done the life or those that have done the lifetime subscription. And here's the big announcement I have for everybody today. The app is going to be free to everyone. I'm going to work with my developer to make sure that he gets money every month to service it and to make sure we can upload new videos and do different things like that. There's tweaks I got to make on the Spanish version of it, but we want everyone to win. And so I signed a guy up the other day. I'm not sure if he's on, but I signed him up and I sent him the video immediately. Not the video, excuse me. I sent him the link to sign up for forlifewave.com. And within hours, he had gone through and watched all the videos, signed up for the different groups, and done everything that he needed to do. And he's already sponsored a person and he's working on sponsoring another. So for me, there's more than one way to build this. And I'm still going to connect people into the main system. Don't get me wrong, and get people on Zooms and different things like that. But I think there's a number of people that are just going to fall through the cracks if we expect them to right away start getting on meetings frequently and doing all that. And I apologize to anyone that, maybe doesn't feel that way. And that's okay. We're all different. I prayed about this long and hard, and it just kept breaking my heart that I talked to people and they didn't know how to use the patches. They didn't, yeah, I used them 5 days, or I did this. When they get done doing the forlifewave.com onboarding, they're ready. They know how to use the patches. They know how, if they decide they want to share them with people they care about and love. They know how to jump in and do a business. They have all of that available to them. And then with that, we can connect them into the whole system with the Zoom calls and the other different tools that are available out there. And I want to show you how simple this is and what I've been doing with it. But my goal is by the end of the week to have the Spanish version completely ready. That means if someone signs up, they sign up no longer. If they're going to do a free trial or whatever, they're just going to be able to use it. That's just the way we're going to do it. Um, we get to the point where we've got so many people using it, it gets overloaded. That's okay. We'll figure that out, when we get there. But I'm excited about this because I don't want anyone to get left behind. And I know what we've put into forlifewave.com, and it works. And so the main thing I want to stress today to everyone on this call, for every single person you sign up, as soon as they sign up, send them your link for forlifewave.com. And if you're not on there and you're with Randy, let's say, then Randy can get you the link. If you're part of my team, then I can get you the link, Josh, Corey, whoever it might be. Very, very crucial. Because why? Because it works. I've proven it works. I've been using it with newer brand partners and they love it. They really, really do love it. And so that's enough on that. The For Life Wave software application spells the word life. And it's very, very simple. It's life, it's info, it's fun, and it's easy. And that's what people need getting started. They're not getting a link with 20 million links or any other kind of a concept like that, or bunches of videos or whatever. They're getting one link, forlifewave.com/register or dot register dot or slash, Pat Davis or whatever. It's very, very, very simple. They go in, they start, and I can track their progress. And that's how I knew with this new brand partner. I looked, and within a matter of hours, he had watched every video, signed up for every group. He signed up for school, signed up for Champion Makers, and he signed up for the group text thread. And when I talked to him a few days later and I helped him sign up his daughter, I asked him a question and he said, "Yes, I got the text about the meetings, about the Zoom calls or whatever." So they get everything, but they have the simple process to walk them through that. Plus, they hear my appeal with my what if video that, what happens if someone doesn't decide to share it with other people? What's going to happen? And it's just, we've just come up with ways to be able to have more people get in and stay and get fired up quick. And that's the whole idea behind it. And so, how do you overcome nervousness, confidence building strategies? This is the simplest thing in the world for me. In the event we are on, the virtual event this weekend, they're talking about how to contact people. And, a number of people said one of their biggest takeaways is that you can't just text someone, you gotta call. And I have a different philosophy, and if you don't agree with me, it's okay. All right. My philosophy is if I've got someone who's not willing to pick up the phone and they've got 100 contacts that they need to have contacted, those are 100 people who aren't going to hear about LifeWave. And yeah, it's possible that some other way they're going to find out about it. I get that. But I think it's also realistic that they might not. And I think we have to be real with that, at least for quite a while, until this basically really, really sweeps everywhere, all over the world. So, what does that mean? It means that Steve Merritt talked about this during the conference. You find people in your team that want to grow and you help them and you make calls with them and you do three-way calls and three-way text and different things like that. And I'm telling you, I was sitting next to Randy and Bev and I said, guys, I could dance to hear him talk that way because that's my passion. I want to be able to help someone. So I've got brand partners who have taken me up on this and it's working. They're texting someone, they're introducing me, I'm stepping in, I'm sharing the video, I'm sharing whatever else, and we're going from there. Now, this is a really big deal. Mission 1 billion. This is my latest tool that I've been working with, and I'm telling you, it just flat out works. And after I get done using this and I get them signed up, then I get them in the app right away for lifewave.com. And what happens? Then they know how to wear the patches. They know how long. They know they got to drink water. They know that there's a business opportunity. They know all of this, but they do it over over a period of a handful of hours to a day or whatever. Plus, they get all those follow-up emails every day for 7 days. So what happens? The first thing is you can send this out right here and you'll see that I changed one word. Hey, I need to tell you this. I recently became part of a team that has a mission, is what I had before. And some people are running into people going, hey, I thought it was like a mission team. I thought it was a Christian ministry. And don't get me wrong, for me, this is to be able to help people and to go the extra mile to help people that a lot of people might leave behind. To me, that's the greatest thing. And be able to find out what's going on in people's lives and to be able to pray with them and to fight battles for them and with them and do those kind of things. To me, there is no greater ministry, quote unquote. So it is a mission, but some people might be more comfortable. So I just changed one word. I need to tell you this. I recently became part of a team that has a plan. Okay, a plan to change the lives of 1 billion people. I really could use your help. I'd like to share how, and if it's okay, would like to send you a 5-minute video. Could you watch it real quick? And I'm telling you, don't change it. Just send it out just like that. And then if they say sure, then you send the video. And that's it. That's the Mission 1 billion video. I pour my heart out. I tell people that there is a problem that we all face, and that's our stem cells go dormant. There is a solution. It's an incredible patch. And I just need you to tell everybody you know to come and get a hold of or to get a hold of me. And then, really, what I would love for you to do is to jump into the mission field on this thing with me and become a partner with me in it. Well, then you've got a person who's connected and now they can become a brand partner. And this works so well. And I've got some people, some brand partners that have been using this, some newer ones, and some who have been with me for a while. And so what happens is they get permission to send this. And then when they send that video, then they turn around and they introduce them to me and say, hey, this is the guy that made the video. I want you to meet him. Well, guess what? Now I get to play the expert. I get to say, hey, I'm really excited to meet you. And let's say it's Randy. Randy just talks so well, spoke so well of you, told me you guys have known each other for 103 years or whatever it might be. I know Randy's not quite that old, but that would be something so powerful. But he says, really love to play pickleball together or whatever. And oh, hey, I've sponsored a pickleball tournament, and whatever. I watch people play pickleball a lot while I walk. I can tie into about anything that you give me as a heads up. So what you do is you share the video, and as soon as you send the video, you send that text, and then you text me or whoever the person is that you're working with. If it's Randy, you text Randy and say, "Hey, Randy, this is John. I want you to know a little bit about him. I just sent him the Mission 1 Billion video and introduced him to you." And you use the video and you go, "Hey, this is a friend of mine that did this video." However you want to do it. Our doctor introduced us to this, and the first person that he introduced it to, made this video. However you want to do it. Joe's everybody's friend. He's the leader of our team, and so you can say that however you want to. What I love about it is that it gets results, and people that are scared to make phone calls will pick up their phone and text. And I would rather have someone text me of the opportunity of a lifetime than not get a hold of me because they're too afraid to call me. Anybody on board with that? If you are, raise your hand. I mean, I would be really upset if I found out about an opportunity after it was too late, just because somebody was scared to call me. And I still say, make sure you hear this 100%. It's ideal to be able to pick up the phone and call. No question about it. But once you get that call made or you meet someone in person or whatever, then introduce your upline, whether it's me, Randy, whoever that might be. Okay. Josh, Corey, Dean, Jeff, others. I don't know who else on here. Joe. Once you do that, then you have a connection that I don't believe is going to get broken. And now, guess what? You can drip on that person together. So Randy introduces me to John. I mean, Randy's just doing that drip, and John's getting a message every now and then. And even less frequently, I reach out and go, "Man, John, I was just thinking about you the other day, and what you said about your shoulder pain. Hey, this is something that I think really could be a blessing to you." And I mean, it really does not get any easier than that. And everybody can do it. And so what you can do is you can tell them, "Hey, you get them signed up and you get them on the phone and you start doing I've got the audio files, and you can use those audio files that play the names of people, the different types of relationships like family members and different things like that, and different types of business owners and things along that line. I just call them, I play it on my audio, they write down their names, I get back with them and I say, "Here, this is what we want to do. Find a time when you can get 20, 30, 40, 50, however many texts out. This very text right here, and I'll be waiting, and we'll make some text and calls together. I promise you, you're going to see some results." And now, guess what? You've got another group of people that you could reach out to, and you may have a bunch of people that really, here's a good example. I've got somebody that I know is in pain a whole lot and has a lot of issues, not real tech savvy, you name it. But you know what? God really cares about her. And so I want to care about her like he does. And if he put me in her life, then there's not only, like we always talk about, not only a reason for them to come into my life, but there's a reason that they're in my life after that. And so I'm going to get a hold of this gal and I'm going to let her know, "Look, I don't know what we can do, but I'm going to do everything I can to help you." Why? Because I looked the other day and she's been active for over a year. And I know that she's very poor and she doesn't have a lot of contacts. But I want to care for her the same way that I care for the person who I know is going to be a Haas network market builder. And that's what this is designed to do. So guess what? Now, when I get a hold of her, and you don't have to do this, I'm going to do this because I want to bless some people. My wife and I want to bless some people. Call it an offering, call it whatever you want, maybe even alms. But we're going to say, hey, if you'll do this and you'll do this and you'll contact these people and you'll make text and do whatever, I'm going to give you $50 for groceries. Why not? We can do what we want, right? And I'm not suggesting you make that a habit because it's not duplicatable, right? But if you've got a family member, friend, somebody that you care about and you know they could use some help, and this would be an opportunity for them to build their business, wow. Another one of those things when we were sitting together at the conference this week and I looked over at Randy and Bev and we were just like, this is a cool thing that we can really make something, happen with. Um, but if you do something and then, someone tells someone else, then that can put you in a position where everybody expects you to do the same thing. So that's something you do for somebody that right? Or that has been really, really faithful and maybe hasn't built or whatever. That might not be conventional wisdom, but I think there is a place for that. And just being creative, coming up with ideas to get into people's boat, right? Just like Jesus did, got into the disciples' boat, changed their lives. He didn't tell them to, quit fishing and go and follow him, without giving them a mission and a vision. And so that's what I feel like we're doing. I don't want to get too preachy with that. But anyway, so share that. That is the actual text right there. I just took it off my phone. I made a screenshot. And then that was the video. And then this has put more money in my pocket than anything lately. I just tell them, okay, here's something that'll really help me help you find what's best for you when we talk again. And I send it out. These patches are not a miracle cure. They contain no medicine. They just reflect the light of our bodies and wake up sleeping stem cells. However, if you could have them do anything for you, what would it be? And I can't tell you how many people of late have checked every box. And it's not that they're actually checking it, but they're telling me. Well, I could use all of that. Or you know what? I'd say probably everything. I'm not concerned about the income. Fine. But if they say, man, I need more energy, but they don't mention sleep and they don't mention pain and they don't mention some kind of a health condition, you skip right to the energy. And then as you're going through that, then you can ask them, hey, how would you feel about, sharing this with some other people? Or you don't even say it at all, and you get them into the app forlifewave.com, and you get them in moving through that system, and they hear the different people and the different pleas as to we can't, ignore the people out there, and if we don't share, who knows what could happen in someone's life, right? Um, but this thing works so well. Like I said, I can't count how many people I've enrolled or help other brand partners enroll people using that post-it note script. And that's all I do. When I call people, when I talk to people, whatever it is, then I get permission. I send them my video. I call it the Patchcast video because Randy and I do that show. And it's got Dr. Duggar and myself doing an interview. Then my wife and kids and my son-in-law is on there. And then Dr. Tori Brooks and Patty Glick, the nurse practitioner. And they get into stuff. They even get into the patch options and everything, the package options at the end. And I have people that come back to me. They're not asking for more information. They're not asking. I've had probably out of the last 10 people I've talked to, maybe one or two that I've had to send to this is it info or this is it info or this is it team or any of that. I'm going to get them plugged into it, but all I need to do is let them know the practitioner of the year for the National Basketball Association in Tory Brooks. And so they have more than enough information. And with this, it sells itself. It just sells itself. And if you meet someone in person, show them your patch, right? Just do that. And then once ask them if they've been patched or whatever, go through the same thing, but then start to connect them. Connect them to me, connect them to whoever else that's in your upline, and then start the process going back right to this. And then sharing the Mission 1 billion video. If you meet somebody in public, I would just go right to the uh, the video that the 18-minute video that has Dr. Duggar and my family and Dr. Tory Brooks and Patty Glick. I would use that. And then once I send them that, then I'm going to tell them, hey, I want to get their thoughts on it. And then I'm going to send them this post-it note. And you will draw out of a majority of people what their interest level is, if they have interest. I even tell them, hey, that first 10 minutes, in 10 minutes, you're going to know. It's an 18-minute video, but in 10 minutes, you're going to know if this is for you or not. If it's for you for the patch side, the health side, if it's for you for the financial side. And I just continue to do that over and over. So that's what I wanted to share today, mainly just sharing my heart, that I do believe there is another way for us to be able to reach people and grow really healthy organizations in LifeWave. And I mean, I just don't know any better way to say it than that. And then I want to open it up for anybody who has any comments or questions. I want to emphasize again for those who may have got on a little later or maybe watching this recording, the Spanish version of the app, of the For Life Wave app, is going to be ready. My plan is for it to be ready this week. And it will be updated so that if they watch a video, the video's in Spanish. I even talk in Spanish. I'm working with my translator friend to make sure that my speed is proper. He teaches English as a second language. Um, Exciting. So I'm really excited. I just want to open it up then. Randy, are you by chance there? I know you always have some good comments and suggestions, and I definitely won't.
I'm I'm here. I have a plumber here, so I'm here.
Oh, okay. I didn't know Bev was a plumber. I thought you would
No,
do that for her.
no, it's not Bev. No, we're not starting a side business like that. No, no.
But
But
you
yeah,
could. No, I'm kidding.
well, I probably could. Now I have a barking dog because he barks at everything. So yeah, I don't know that I was looking to see. I don't think that Gracie made it on, but I'm going to send her the app. I think that Pat and I were talking earlier. I think the only objection that we had to the app was having to pay for it. So I think that is now that objection is now gone. Um, I think it's something that all of us need to look at because I think it simplifies the process. And anytime we can simplify a process, I think that's good. It kind of takes our hands off of the process of getting people educated. And I think even for me, going through the process of the 7 days of the app has educated me in some ways that I wasn't educated before.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
if that's the case, then I think it's going to be very applicable to educate our people that are starting from the very beginning. Something
Good
else
word.
that's going to help us, something else that's going to help us do is it's going to help us to be able to find out where our new people want to be. And if we can educate ourselves on that, then if a person is not interested in building the business right now, there's really no reason to talk about the business because, yeah, is it better that a person be a brand partner? Yes, absolutely. But if they're more interested in just helping their health by being on the patch, then that's where we need to serve them. We need to serve the
Yeah.
people where they're at. And I think that's something that we are missing. And I agree with Pat. I don't think that we need to miss that. Now, does that mean that we may not be walking the stage? That might be what that means. But I'm not really concerned so
Yeah.
much of walking the stage than to serving the people that I have brought into the business or I'm bringing into the business. And that's just that's a personal thing with me, but I agree with Pat on that. I think that the teams can grow even faster if we take that philosophy. So yeah, I'm
Perfect,
all
Randy.
in. I think for the app to work,
Connor.
we have to use the app.
Yeah.
Quite frankly. Yeah.
And here's the thing with me, and it's so much easier now that I don't have, because I would be telling people, Randy's heard me say this, I wish somebody else would have developed it because I knew I was the one that was going to get paid. Because I recommend it that much. I mean, this is something that I've been pouring over in my heart for the whole time I've been with LifeWave. And
Well,
and
and Pat,
so have Randy and Joe and I, all three
Pat,
of us.
let me say this. I don't say this to make anybody feel bad or feel guilty, but Pat has put a lot of time and effort into it. He's put a lot of finances into it. And for him to decide that we're going to do it for free, that is a sacrifice. And again, Pat made that decision, but I think that decision in itself shows that we're dedicated to the team, to building the team, to helping people. So,
Appreciate that.
and we're not going to ask for donations.
Right.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I feel like that some people will step up and help. I'm going to do that, but we're not going to ask anybody to do that. But there's still going to be finances that the resources need to be there because you have to maintain the app, you have to do all of those. But we're going to get that done because Pat has made a commitment to do that, and I'm going to make a commitment to help him in any way that I can. Thus, that helps the team.
And I'll share something else that goes right along with that. That's really so people understand my heart. For me, it's a non-negotiable. When I sign someone up, here's what happens. I'm going to sign you. We're going to get you signed up. Okay, now you're signed up. Here's what's next. Not, I recommend it or anything. It's this is what you do. You have to do this. This is the next step in the process. And if everybody approaches it that way, we're not going to have anyone fall through the cracks. That's what's exciting to me. If I sign someone up, I know that there is no excuse unless they just decide to say, hey, I watched this video. I understand that you got to drink a lot of water, blah, 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 blah. If they check those boxes and they don't do it, that's on them. No big deal, right? But that's so exciting. So when I've been signing people up lately, it's a two-step process. I'm going to get you enrolled, and then I'm going to have you sign up for this. And now it's not even just a free trial that's going to expire. It's open. So here's a tool that you can use. And what's it going to do? It's going to connect them to champion makers. It's going to connect them to This Is It team. It's going to connect them to what am I missing? School. And I can build top tier into it. We can do whatever. That's not a problem. But like I said, for me, it's a non-negotiable because there's no one that's fallen through the cracks on my watch anymore. And I've had too many. I mean, if you guys saw how many people I've signed up personally and how many people I've helped other people sign up that are just ghosted today. Um, and I think part of it is a lot of people, like Randy said it. Randy and I kind of had that conversation. I said, Randy, it may mean I don't hit the top tiers in the company. Honestly, I don't care. I'm going to hit some real good tiers because I'm almost to executive. But what's important to me is that I take a team with me that is winning. And I don't think you can do that and not get driven to the top yourself. I mean, that's just the way of the kingdom is. Um, but we're on a trajectory that I think is unreal. I really do. And one of our goals, Randy, mine, and Joe, we've worked together, the three of us, on a lot of the different stuff. My kids and others have too, but primarily us three, has been that we create a team that has more people who stick and stay than anybody in LifeWave. Not to be arrogant, but just because we believe that's that important.
Okay,
So,
And
if you
Pat,
you don't
go ahead,
mind,
Joe. Go ahead,
right?
Joe.
Okay, now what happens is my main concern before was the monthly payment, okay, or the annual payment. But now that you have decided to to make it free, one thing that's what it is. I love it. And one other feature that I like about this is that you have the capacity to reach a lot of people as opposed to, just, talking to individuals and stuff like that. If we can use it, execute, hey, I'm in for it. Yeah, I'm in for it. I love it. And we
that
can,
sounds good.
yeah.
We enjoyed hanging with you the last weekend, Joe, you and Darlene, for sure. And it's people like yourselves that have such big hearts that this is just made perfect for. It really is. So,
I did have one thought that I wanted to add, and that was just simply that, um, it's kind of a no-brainer for me because the biggest thing that I've realized with working with people is you're going to have some people that are never going to jump on a Zoom. And they're never going to, it's like Pat was saying, they're not going to answer a phone call, but they'll respond to a text. And you have people that are like that. But at least by using the app and giving them the tools to be connected, it creates the biggest opportunity for them to be connected with the culture and to hear the testimonies and to because all of that stuff matters. All of that matters. I mean, I don't know how many times I've went to explain something to somebody, and if I hadn't heard a testimony on a Zoom call, I would have had no way to relate the patch to their personal problem. And so the app gets them connected to all of that. So I think it's a really big deal. Yeah, you're out of 10 people, you might have 3 people that just even ghost the app process, but the 7 that don't, you're setting them up for the best possible chance at success and
good
getting
word.
connected to the community.
Very true. By the way, in case you don't know, that's a homeless guy that I found. He's just sitting on my floor here in my office now. But no, for those that don't know,
Yeah,
that's my son-in-law, Corey. Um,
let's buy him a shaver. Let's buy him a trimmer. Yeah. But Pat, before I forget, one other thing. This does not mean that we're separating
right.
from
Good word.
Danny or Diane, Brittany or Rick. That doesn't mean we're separating,
Right.
but we're taking the philosophy that we don't want anybody to be left behind. So there are sounds like there are 2 non-negotiables. Non-negotiable number 1 is 6 to 9 months. We're asking for a commitment of 6 to 9 months to use the patch, use the technology, because we don't know how it will work and when it will work. And then the other non-negotiable is we need you to use this app. And the other thing I would say, once we get off here, what I'm going to do is I'll send a link to all of my people that are on here. I'll send you a link. I think Joe and Darlene are already on. Don might be on. I'm not sure, but I'll send a link to everybody. What you need to do is you need to sign up, and you need to take, if it takes you 2 weeks, that's fine. It shouldn't take you 2 weeks, but if you can go through it and go through the whole app and see exactly what is there. Because if you don't know, you can't answer questions. So that would be the first priority, I would say, in the next week. Try to go through the app and know exactly what's there.
Anybody else? I'll think of it. Anybody else want to share anything? And I appreciate the comments, and I also appreciate questions. Make sure it doesn't make any difference how long someone's been with you. I recommend get this in the hands of older brand partners, not by age, but how long they've been with you. If you got somebody who's been with you a year, there's stuff they're going to learn. Like Randy was saying, just from the emails they're going to get every single day and the clarification that's going to come with that. And that was the other thing I was going to say. When you click on a member icon, let me share my screen one more time. This is really, really huge. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna edit it. But this is my guy, and I'll have his name taken out of here. But when you look over here at this, you're gonna see I can click on view member, and if he has anybody he's signed up, it's gonna show. And this is on the welcome video now. It explains how to use this, which I think is a big key. Then getting updates, it's going to show everything that's happened, like you received the day one email, the day two email, whatever. And then you can also get that information when you click over here for today's experience. I won't have any because that's been a while since I did that first, but it'll show you your emails that you're getting in the mail. So you can check right here, or you can go over there. Now, this is the one I want to show you. So this guy, he signed up, and I can go and I can look and go, oh, okay, look, completed the first video. That's the welcome video. He checked off all the boxes that he was, understood that it's not a try and see if it works technology. All those checked off. And then look at this. You've got champion makers, or this is the text thread. Yes. Have you joined champion makers? Yes. Have you signed up for school? Yes. You can see all that with your brand new brand partner. And that's how I knew that it only took a matter of hours and he was done with all of that. But as the one that signed him up, I had access to see that in my back office. So you can keep track of it. If I've got somebody, he checked off only a few of the boxes and maybe watched a few of the videos, and I get back with him and go, hey, what's happening? Well, I don't know. I'm not real sure that I want to, learn much more about or whatever. At least it gives you an idea of where you're at. And then you can find out what that person's hot button is. And it could be, I am going to have something happen before I even mention it to anybody. Or I'm not convinced I'm going to have anything happen. Well, then I can get next to them the same way that I would get next to somebody who is going to be a raker and a shaker network marketer kingpin. And that's where the people won't fall through the cracks. Isn't that cool? So that way you can keep track. And you can also see who has brought on brand partners as well doing that. So when I click on my members, I have that. So I can look at the different ones, and I could click on, Joe Duggar, and I would be able to see his group. And that's just as simple as that. When I click on Randy, he'll have 20 under him or whatever, right? So, and I mentioned the last one that we did, the last training where we talked about For Life Wave, and it wasn't just about For Life Wave today, but it is the connection that it brings, so that when you get a new brand partner, you have them really ready to go. But you also have brand partners that you're helping by doing, list building and name things and stuff like that. But also some of the other tools that we want people to have access to, and to be able to check their progress like that. I'm telling you, it's huge to be able to do that. It really is. Randy, you're unmuted. Did you want to say something else, or?
No, that's about all I had. I was just
Okay.
checking who I had
Anyone
on.
else? Don, share some wisdom.
Well, I just wanted to thank you for all your hard work. Honestly, I've been just down and out for a while, not depressed, but anyways, I'm still hanging in there, and want those that are just hanging in there to keep on keeping on, even though it gets challenging now and then. And don't know what all that has to offer in the future. I have not got on to get this yet for Lifeway, but I'll get with Randy and we'll get with it. And so
Good deal.
I just again appreciate all that you're doing, and I'm like Randy. For you to do this of no charge is a big heart commitment, and I believe, like Randy, there's others that will help along the way, because God always provides.
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt about it. And I appreciate that, and like I said, for the thing to me, the most important thing I could get across today is just don't consider it a negotiable. You sign them up. Hey, this is your next step. This is
Yeah.
the next step, whatever you want to call it. But everybody uses, at least get signed up with the system. And if they do nothing with it, it's not going to say free trial, which could scare someone. It's just going to be access.
Yes.
And that's going to be killer.
And
So
I
know you-
think that, and I think that's why it's important that all of us, once we get signed up as leaders, we know exactly what's on there. So we can
Exactly,
instruct. So I
right.
think that's the first thing we need to do as well. So
But again, we'll just continue to work at it, and I'll get with Randy and see how that Arkansas could be the number one team if we would all continue to collaborate together.
Come
That's a
on.
big that's a big word. Collaborate, and then to get people to do that as well.
Yeah, that was another thing I thought of too. Real important. Always open to, hey, we should have this video. We should have this, link or whatever added in, because I'm going to have access to the administrative side of it. So I'll be able to, if it's text, it's got to be coded. So it goes into Spanish, even English for that matter.
I know you probably already have built in how often you will update what you have presented in that whole stream of videos that we'll look at, and so that we'll keep up to date with the newer things that are coming along.
Yeah, that will have to be something I'll have to look at, because we have 7 days of videos
Yes,
for the
that's a lot.
training,
Mhm.
and we don't want to go past that. But I still would like to have something where they get a video on the 30th day, or maybe even the 14th, the 30th, 60th, 90th, stuff like that. So that's just something that the cool part about it is that's something that I can do at any time. And I
Yes.
can work with my developer to get that.
So again, just thank you. Appreciate all that you do, and your family and all
I
those
appreciate-
connected.
Thank you. I appreciate all of you. You make it a lot easier to do it. I mean, life's about, if we're living in the kingdom, life's about sacrifice. Let's face it. And it's good to have people that you want to.
Hey, Pat.
Yeah, Dean.
Sorry if there's a bunch of racket. Obviously, I'm driving. Just making sure, you talked about the administrative things. The link that I give out, is it, quote, my link to where I will be able to see all that information, what they're looking at, what they're
Yes,
not,
sir.
or is it you?
No, you.
Okay, just making
Yeah.
sure that.
So
Um,
Dean, I think Pat, correct me if I'm wrong. Pat's people will get a link from Pat. When they get that link, as they sign up, you are now designated a leader. So you will have a link, your own link. All of your people you send your link to, and then you can check all of them. And vice versa. It continues to go down the line. As they do that, they'll be able to check on their people. That's the way it's designed, that you can check on their status and allows you to help them along the way. So, yeah, is that correct, Pat?
absolutely, 100%.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you, sir.
I appreciate you,
All of
Dean.
you, all of you, sirs. And
Yeah,
ma'ams. And ma'ams.
sirs and ma'ams. We stayed on longer, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody had a chance to speak their heart. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. And man, let's get the word out there. Let's get everybody using that app. Appreciate all of you very much.